All right, guys. Welcome back for day number 2 or day 1, because yesterday was day 0. I don't know. However you want to call it, it's the next day of E3 coverage and our final press conference. Shut up, iPad. Our final press conference well, it wasn't a press conference really. Nintendo Direct. Um, my thoughts on the Nintendo Direct. They started off with an intro of sort of a robot chicken claymation that was, amusing. Then they dived right into their top title for this year, Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. They demoed using Mii fighters with Reggie and Iwata. And basically, they said that your Mii fighters, you can have one of 3 types. You can have a brawler, you can have a sword fighter, or you can have a gunner. And basically that I never noticed that in the old Super Smash Brothers games, but that's basically what they are. Like, you either have a dude that does projectiles, a dude that has a sword and just lays a smack down with the sword, or a brawler who just uses his hands and fists and just beats the piss out of whoever. But yeah, that game, I guess, is coming out holiday 2014 for Wii U. The 3DS version of Super Smash Bros. Comes out on October 3rd. Cool. Another feature that they showed in a new initiative that I guess Nintendo is going to undertake is Amiibos. They're sort of getting into the Disney Infinity and Skylanders market with little action figurines that you plop on your gamepad, and it's a two-way street for data, basically. So downloads the character to your game, you lay the smackdown with your character, then data gets uploaded from the game into your character, and your fighting style and your stats, I guess, all go up to your figurine. Personally, I think it's like a big cash grab. It's like having 20 peripherals now. So they're just, give me your money. Give me all your money. And I don't know if you lose stuff by not having the Amiibo. Hopefully it doesn't get to the point where you can't even have the character in your game if you don't have the Amiibo action figure. And for the love of Christ, why do you call them Amiibos? Well, who markets your names for your things? Wii U, Wii, Amiibo. Dude, call it an Amigo. Friend. Dude, marketing 101. Change the B to a G. You have... Okay? No. Alright. And I guess a bunch of other games are going to use Amiibos too, like, well, I'll get to the rest of the games. That's all I'm going to talk about Amiibos right now. Next game they showed off was Yoshi's Woolly World. Very similar aesthetic to Kirby Yarn, and I think it's from the same dudes that made that. It's an exploratory action 2D platformer, and you can also have 2-player co-op too. So like you have 2 Yoshis, and you can take the one Yoshi, roll him up into a ball, throw him. A lot of different, level design things with Yarn, and that would be nice for the kids. Another game they showed off, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. They didn't have very many details on this. They just had just a cinematic trailer, basically. That's supposed to come out this holiday, I believe. Then, all the Nintendo fanboys freaked out because they wanted to hear about the next Legend of Zelda game, and we definitely got word. We saw that they basically compared the old Zelda to this Zelda that they're developing now, and basically the old Zelda, you just had like these little sections of map. You came in one way, went out the other way, and that was it. So everything was isolated. Well, now you have a full open world. So if they're making like Zelda Skyrim, that might put me over the top to buy a Wii U. I'm not sure yet, but it looks pretty awesome. They had this nice, beautiful scene that they showed of, I guess it's Hyrule, but just a land of Zelda where Zelda's on a horse. Or sorry, Link is on a horse, and yeah, very nice art style to it as well. Sort of a blend between like the Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. So nice blend there. And they had this beautiful, peaceful scene, and then all of a sudden this fucking monster just comes up and just starts burning the shit out of everything. Just like fire, and that's been like the story with E3 this year. Like, it's like beautifully gross. You know, like the gore that you see in the games. Like, I seriously had trouble like falling asleep last night because there was just so much like, my brain was just like constantly impacted by gore and bullets and death, and Jesus God, what is wrong with gaming now? I mean, I'm all for violent video games. I'm not one of these turds that's like, oh well, all the shootings in the world and everything that goes wrong in the world is because of video games. That's complete bullshit. But man, it's like, I guess it's because that the new systems are so powerful now that you can just see like all this grotesque, disgusting stuff, like Mortal Kombat yesterday. Holy Jesus! Like, not only do you see the bone skeleton structure, but now you see like the muscles and everything, and it's just all just smashing and cracking and ripping and tearing and destroying, and a lot of destruction. But I digress. Talking about Legend of Zelda, I think it looks sweet. I can't wait to see more gameplay footage, because it seems still sort of, I don't know if that was in-game or not. Showed off a couple of the Pokemons. I'm not going to really get into that. Not into that. Bayonetta 2 they showed, and it appears like the first Bayonetta game is going to be packaged with it. And they showed this new game called Hyrule Warriors. So basically it's a blend of Dynasty Warriors, so big like open arena battles where you beat the crap out of millions and millions of foes, but with the Zelda cast of characters. So like Zelda, Link, I don't even remember the other ones. But I guess that game's coming out September 26th. New Kirby game coming out, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. So basically, like, it looks like you draw lines on your gamepad, and then Kirby sort of moves in that direction. So that's a 2015 game. They had Xenoblade Chronicles X, so a JRPG. Not a fan personally, but if you are, cool. That's your announcement. 2015 for that game too. A game that could put me over to the top to actually buy a Wii U is the next game that they announced, Mario Maker. That looks so rad. Basically, it's a level/course creator for the original Super Mario Brothers. So you can build out all the bricks, you can build out all the question marks, you can put pipes wherever you want to, the blocks, the castle, everything. You can just completely make your own Mario levels. So it's like an endless supply of Super Mario Brothers. I think that is going to be so amazing, and I can't believe we haven't had it already. But I guess I'm thinking that the Wii U gamepad is going to make it easier for you to like sort of draw out your level. So like you select block as as what you want, and then you just sort of draw along like a linear path, and it builds blocks for you. Another cool thing that I saw is like you could do the old school like 1980s aesthetic art design, 8-bit Super Mario Brothers look, or you can flip it and make it the new style, the new art style that you would see in like Super Mario Brothers, the 3DS games. There's so many Super Mario Brothers games, I don't even know what they're called anymore. That's how sad it is. But that game, I guess, is coming out in 2015, so that's pretty cool. And then they announced this this new 4 versus 4 team play game called Splatoon, and basically it's like extreme paintball. So like you've got 4 players on each side, and you basically spray paintball ink all over the arena, and the team that like completely, I guess the objective is the team that completely covers their entire map in their ink wins. And your player can transform from human to squid mode. I don't know. So in your human mode, you can shoot paint. And that's the only way you can shoot paint, is if you're in human mode. But then you can go into this squid mode where you go into your own paint and you can swim fast. So it like makes you go faster. So it's sort of like a strategic element to the game. They also said that you use the gyro sensor on the gamepad to look around, so you just move your gamepad around and you can look around. And also on your gamepad you can see an overlay of the whole map, so you can see where all your team's ink are in relation to the other team's ink, so that you can maybe build out paths and build out your strategy. You can also see all of your various team members and where they're at on the map. You can tap on their icon, and it will sort of like blast you off, teleport you to their spot on the map. That's sort of reminiscent of how you respawn in the Battlefield games, really. This goes like once you die, you can be in your squad, you can see where your players are and what they're seeing at that time, and then say, oh yeah, okay, I can help that dude out more than I could help this other dude in my squad. So you spawn on that dude, and you go to town there. That game was also coming out 2015, and then their final big announcement, I guess, is that I can't even say her name. Lady Platina, I think her name is. I guess she's part of the Kid Icarus series, which I've actually never played. But she joins Super Smash Brothers as a playable character. I guess Nintendo fanboys freaked out about that. I'm not really attuned to that. Like, when I think Nintendo, my main franchises are Mario, Zelda, Star Fox. That's me, basically. A little bit of Metroid. I've done a little Metroid here and there. But yeah, that's Nintendo. Definitely more games than I anticipated them talking about. I still think they need third-party support to really make the Wii U a very viable platform. But, you know, some of these games, you know, if I get enough friends that are interested, man, they're making the decision tougher for me whether or not I should take the plunge and buy a Wii U. It's the only system that I don't have. Well, that and the 3DS. I don't have that, and I don't have a PlayStation Vita either. But of the big consoles, you know, I have Xbox One, PS4, you know, and PC. So, but yeah, they're making it a lot more difficult for me to restrain myself from getting a Wii U. I kind of want to get a Wii U. Kind of want to play Mario Kart too, to be honest. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Nintendo. If I had to give them a grade, you almost have to put them on a different scale than the other companies because they don't follow the convention of the other companies, really. But for Nintendo, I'd give them a B+. I think they did a good job. I mean, they sort of took the approach that EA took yesterday, and I kind of bashed EA for this, but I don't know. I may reverse what I thought about it, because after I heard what the CEO of EA said yesterday, how they're taking a different approach to announcing games. Basically, they want to show you the full developer diary, like I was saying yesterday, and I didn't like that because I didn't see gameplay and I didn't know whether the project would be actually finalized. But now that I heard what he said, and the way that they're going about their PR and their marketing, it does make sense. Basically they want to be more open with the gamers, with the consumers. They want to show like the overall process that it takes to get through development of a video game for them. And that's sort of the approach that Nintendo took in this Nintendo Direct. They showed the developers, which is very different from Nintendo. They like to keep a lot of things under the vest. They don't really put their developers out there to discuss the games that they're developing. They did that with the Yoshi game. They did that with the Legend of Zelda. They did that with the Hyrule Warriors. And they did that with Splatoon as well. So it at least just shows that they have an initiative and what they're going to be working on. So, yeah, B+, I think. So overall, I think it was a pretty good E3. When I start thinking back, though, over all of the press conferences, I was really thinking that we were going to see a lot more virtual reality stuff, similar to like what Project Morpheus was going to, turn into for Sony. But really, all they have is like 3 demos for people that are actually at the show. They didn't have very many games, or they didn't have any games for virtual reality. But I think that's the wave of the future, just like the Oculus Rift is the wave of the future. So I was expecting a little bit more with that, but overall, hey, now we're finally getting some games to play on these new consoles, because I was getting worried, like first year I had the console, there was like nothing to play on. It just sits there. All I can use them for is like Netflix and apps, and that's it. And all the games that did come out were simply ports of, the titles from last gen. So we're finally getting our meat and potatoes of games, so that's awesome. I can't wait. And heck, Nintendo may even make me buy a Wii U. Who knows? But still hate the Amiibo idea. I think that's stupid. I think it's just a cash grab. But overall, the games that they showed, they're interesting enough and worth a playthrough, I think. So, yeah, leave the comments below of what you thought of Nintendo or any of the press conferences, really. And that'll do it for my coverage of E3 reactions. Some other news for just my channel now that I'm officially on here live. You see me in person for the first time ever. I just got this webcam last week. We're going to start picking up more gameplays. I know I promised some more NHL action to my Twitch followers. Didn't get to do that yesterday. Didn't get to do that Sunday either. So I'm going to be playing 2 games worth of Stanley Cup finals. San Jose Sharks, New York Rangers for you to sort of catch up. And then, hey, if the Kings win on Wednesday to raise the Stanley Cup, maybe we can raise the Stanley Cup around Downtown Network here on Thursday. We'll see. Depends how I do. Depends if I can beat the Rangers. We'll see. But yeah, it's time now just to sort of watch the individual gameplay trailers, and if I find enough trailers and have some opinions on them, maybe I'll shoot those off too to YouTube as well. But I really appreciate everybody who's tuned in and watched my reactions. It's just my 2 cents on it. I love to hear you guys' 2 cents as well on these things, and talk to you soon. All right, laters.